in today's video, we're going to be talking about top TPT tools that you should be using, might be using, could be using, right? I'm going to share with you my TPT tools that I use to build my business. And please put down your favorite tools in the comments below. I'm always looking sometimes for a new one, but interesting enough, I made a video like this, I think about 3 years ago. My tools are almost exactly the same. Not quite, there's at least one new one, but everything else is the same. So if you are new, returning, welcome. Here it is, our primer. We talk teacher side hustles. And right away, the moment I hit record, I got a cat over here. What are you doing? Ugh. There's a few tools you really do need. When you are starting your TPT business, the first thing you run into is what are you going to use to create your products? There are two ways you can go. You can go the free, you can go the paid. And before I even start, many school districts, they usually provide you with a desktop or a laptop, and they may have either Google tools on there or they will have Microsoft tools on these. This is school property, and I beg you not to use them to build your TPT store. 3-4 years ago, I guess it was, we were starting to hear of school districts that were catching teachers creating products using their school computers, and the districts said, well, those are ours, and therefore your products are ours. Okay? Does it happen very often? I don't think so, but do you really want to take that chance? Don't do it. Using Google Slides to create your products is free. Using PowerPoint is not free. And the other thing is you have to consider is there's PowerPoint and then there's PowerPoint for business. And you need PowerPoint for business. One of the things I just recently, not this computer here, I just recently bought a brand new computer, and they asked for an extra couple $100, do you want PowerPoint put on? And I had the option of PowerPoint for home or PowerPoint for business. And I took that business PowerPoint because terms of use, this is a little phrase in TPT you're going to hear a lot of, terms of use. PowerPoint's terms of use says you cannot use it for business. You have to purchase a business PowerPoint. They cost $200-300 depending on where you live, and or you can buy Microsoft 365 for business. Sometimes one's better, one's cheaper than the other. Just depends on where you live. I've tried Microsoft 365. I'm not a fan of it. I know some people here love it, and I'm hoping they will please make comments on how much they like it in the comments down below. You need a program to create your products. That's number one. Okay. The second thing, when it comes to that, you are going to need something to flatten your products. What does flatten mean? When you are using programs like PowerPoint or even Google Slides, every time you add something onto that document, it's called a layer. So for example, if I'm in PowerPoint, I create a border for my page, that's a layer. And then I add text boxes and put content in, that's a layer. If I make a cute little clip, add a cute little clip art, that's a layer. Those are all layers. And just turning it into a PDF when I'm finished will not flatten it. Those layers are still there, and at any time I can copy, or someone else could take my document and copy it. No problem. In fact, I think I shared this in my other video. I purchased a product, right? Opened it up in PowerPoint and saw that it wasn't flattened. And I could have taken her fonts. I could have taken a bunch of stuff off that resource. I emailed her and said, this is not flattened. She thanked me profusely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? And we went on our merry ways. You need something to flatten. If you are using Google Slides, it will flatten the moment you turn it into a PDF. There's something in Google, it just does it. It flattens it, okay? Whereas with PowerPoint, turning it into a PDF document that can be easily printed or emailed or whatever, does not. You need a program. And the program that I use and I highly recommend is called Flatpack. It's by Bearwood Labs. I will put a link down below. It's not an affiliate link. If you have a PC, Bearwood Labs has a TPT store, and I would wait until you can get there's a TPT sale. The next one should be the back to school sometime in August. Buy it then, and it's a one-time thing. If you have a Mac, then you can go on to bearwoodlabs.com and you can purchase it there. And he often puts it on sale on his website about the same time that any TPT sales are happening as well. So you can get them pretty much for the somewhat the same price, depending on where you shop. Bearwood Labs has a lot of free products that are worth checking out, and they have other products available, such as making crossword puzzles, making I think word searches, things like that. They have a thing called Powerpack, and it does lots of different little things, bingo cards, things like that. Check out the website and you might find some cool things, and that he bundles things as well. So depending on what you use, Mac, PC, it doesn't really matter. I remember this question being asked about if you own a Mac, can you use, is it Pages? I can't remember now what it's called. I don't use it, as you can tell. There's a little bit of glitching with it from what I hear. I've never used it. So if you use, is it called Pages? I feel like it's called something else. Anyways, whatever it's called. If you use it and you really enjoy it, please comment below and let us know maybe the tricks to using Pages. But I know Microsoft is phasing out Publisher, which a few people are upset about. I think Mac is phasing out something. I know I'm going to forget Tools because sometimes my brain is, I got notes right here, but I'm like, there's so many things I can think about when you're making products. I've done videos on fonts and Clipart, and that is completely preferential, okay? Depending on your audience, grades, everything. You may want cutesy fonts and all this sort of stuff. Whenever you are buying, whether it be on TPT or Etsy or wherever you're going, there's marketplaces that sell fonts and things. You've got to look for terms of use. What that word just popped up again. You can only use resources that have commercial use only, because the moment you sell something that's commercial, even if it's considered free, you are taking their product, putting it on your product, and then either giving it away or you're selling it. Terms of use. Check for commercial use. You can still find some free Clipart and fonts and frames and all that available on TPT. When I'm checking out new artists, Clipart artists and font artists, I will usually download a free item of theirs just to check it out and see how the resolution looks and what I can do with those frames or whatever I'm downloading. And if I like it, then I usually buy something of theirs. And again, I wish list it for a sale and get it then, unless I feel like I need it like right now. But there are a lot of good Clipart artists and font artists on TPT, on Etsy, and the prices vary. They vary, okay? Someone asked me this a couple weeks ago, what fonts do you use? There is no one font, but you want a font that is easy to read, and you can use it either bold. I'm going to use the example of Canva. So Canva, I'll talk about in a moment. There is a font on Canva that I like to use, particularly on my covers, and it is called League Spartan. And what I like about it is that you can bold it very easily. It's a very plain, upright, clean looking font. And also you can remove the inside so that you've just got the outline of the letters. You've probably seen a lot of those, like I said, even on the thumbnails for here on YouTube. I tend to use League Spartan, and I got that recommendation from another YouTuber. And I thought, hey, that font looks really good. Find 1 to 3 different fonts and kind of stick to it. You want your stuff to be cohesive. You want people to be able to look at your products and go, I know whose that is, right? So you want some consistency through all your work. Consistent fonts, consistent products, the way you create your products, consistency. So we've got our PowerPoint or Google Slides to create our product. We need to flatten that product, secure it. The question that will come up is, do you need Adobe to do this? Flatpack will do it, which is why I bought Flatpack. When I started, I was told I needed to use Adobe. I didn't, but that's what someone told me. So I bought Adobe, and it was a monthly fee, and it was a lot higher than Flatpack was in 1 year. I think I paid between $15 and $20 a month for Adobe. I think I paid, I want to say I paid between $50 and $60 for Flatpack. Now, there was one thing that Adobe did that I could not do on Flatpack, but I hear you can do it. And it might just be an email I'll send to Bjorn, the creator of Flatpack. And that is what's called form fields or field forms. I can't remember. And that is where you can put something editable, and you can insert names. You can put your class list in, and it will fill their names into things. I hear Adobe really is the best to do that. If you do use something else, please, I would love to hear about it. Like I said, I tried it with Flatpack, couldn't quite do it. So I'm still looking for a tool to use, and I don't want to buy Adobe. So if you know something else, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So you've made your product, you've flattened it, secured it. Now you have photography. You're going to photograph your product, ideally in use, even if it's your own hands creating it or making it or filling it out. Take pictures, take screenshots. You can do that on your phone. Your phone works great. And one app that I use on my phone is called InShot. I've been using it for years. I got that recommendation from somebody who is a pro at making videos and things like that. And InShot is free. So you don't have to buy anything. They'll have ads on there, but you can just go through the ads and don't worry about it. The other program you can try, which is also free, is CapCut, CapCut. And I've been using that to make my YouTube shorts. Okay, so if you're into TikTok Reels, Instagram Reels, you could use CapCut or InShot. Either one works. If you're interested in creating a preview video, you could use InShot or CapCut for that as well. I use Canva Pro a lot. Canva I use on a weekly basis. Probably I'm expecting in the summer I might be on it 2 or 3 times in the week because I've got a plan. I've got a 12-week plan. I've made videos about Canva before. You can use Canva to create your covers. You can use Canva to create a PDF preview. You can use Google Slides and you can use PowerPoint, and I've got some older videos about those. There are a ton of tutorials on this channel. I think I've covered almost everything. If I haven't, let me know and I'll do it. But Canva it's getting more stuff. I mean, I also use Canva to, and this is not directly related to TPT, but I make my pins on Canva. I really like using Canva. I make my YouTube thumbnails on Canva. So whether you have a YouTube channel, make them in Canva. And then you just create a file folder and put them all in there, and you can reuse things, and it's great. Like I said, I use the Pro version, which is $100 and I want to say it's about 140 Canadian a year. It's totally worth it for me. Okay, if you're not in Canva, you can do a lot, including flatten a PDF. I totally forgot about that. I just remembered. You can flatten PDFs in Canva. I have a video. I might redo that one. Okay, it's yeah. I just realized I think I saw that I have over 250 videos on this channel. Wow. That's crazy. So there are a lot of videos, and I have no table of contents for most of it. And most of them are requested by you. So again, if you're looking for a tutorial, especially if it's something I've done a long time ago and haven't done an update, let me know and I'll update it this summer. Okay, I do have a short list, but I'm always willing to add more. When it comes to keyword research, which I highly recommend you do, you have heard me say it a lot in the last maybe 2 years. I think that's how long I've been using Seller Spy. I love Seller Spy. And I know there's other programs out there, and I've tried some of them and they're good. I haven't actually tried a program and thought this is horrible. I haven't, people are legitimately trying to create good programs for TPT sellers. I just find I like the way Seller Spy works. I've chatted just briefly with Colleen a couple times, just emailing her, and she's easy to communicate with. I had a glitch, I think once or twice. I check with her, it gets fixed right away. Things are going to happen. That's just standard, but I really like Seller Spy. I know big TPT sellers use a program called Your Data Playbook, and I'm sure it's good. I'm not making that kind of money that I know a lot of people get off it when they're trying to kind of ease back costs, because it's not cheap, but it does an awful lot of stuff. But if you are not making, I would not recommend Your Data Playbook if you are making less than 4 figures. I know people that aren't on Your Data Playbook at all, and they're making 5 and 6 figures. So it's not a must-have. Like I said, if you're a data person like I am, it might be something worth considering. But I'm super happy with some of the little tools that I have, and Seller Spy is one of them. I love doing the keyword research on there. I can be on there for hours. I just like data. It's crazy. The last one I'm going to talk about regarding directly with TPT, and that is ChatGPT. I've made a couple of videos regarding ChatGPT, using it as a business coach. Does it replace the human business coach? No, but it does help mentor those of us who have smaller TPT stores, and it's free. There's a lot of other AIs out there. The one reason why I use ChatGPT, and I was told this back in the fall when I was looking at Google Gemini, is basically ChatGPT's database is bigger. That's all. So they got access to more articles and websites, and so they've just got a little bit more depth to their data. I tried Google Gemini. I got very similar answers using them, but I gravitate to ChatGPT. Let me just give you a couple quick tools that I use for things that are indirectly related to my TPT business. One, email marketing. I use Kit. It used to be called ConvertKit. It's now called Kit. And they have a new plan, and it is free for under 10,000 subscribers. If you go into different Facebook groups and ask people what they use, a lot of TPT sellers use Flodesk. I actually had my email on Flodesk for a while it was in beta, which meant it was $25 flat fee regardless of how many subscribers you had. That's a great deal, especially if you've got over 10,000. That's huge. But I wasn't fussy I couldn't manipulate their templates the way I wanted to. I find that ConvertKit is a little bit easier for me. Your email marketing service provider is preferential. There is no one right answer. There are loads of different companies. Mailerlite is another common one. Mailchimp is another one. What you have to ask yourself is this: how big do I want to grow my email? If not even this year, by next year, what do I want to grow my email? And if you're talking thousands, then you've got to look at those plans. Don't look at the free ones, because most of the free ones are up to 1,000 subscribers. And then there's absolutely nothing wrong with 1,000 subscribers. ConvertKit gets really expensive after 1,000 subscribers. But here's the difference. See, Flodesk is strictly email. So if you want strictly email, then use Flodesk. What the big selling feature that I saw with Kit is I can sell digital products on Kit through email. Like I could create a funnel and sell them directly on there and not on my website. And their fees are considerably lower. In fact, I believe they're lower than me selling that same product on Etsy, because Etsy is much lower than TPT when it comes to fees and things like that. There are a lot of extra features that you can have with Kit that you don't have on the other ones, and that's why it's more expensive. If you are not going to use those other features, those tools, then yeah, you've got Mailerlite, Mailchimp, Flodesk. There's lots. If you are partial to one, feel free to comment about it down below. One of the things I failed to mention, sometimes we get the question in the comments below, should you have a premium account on TPT? My answer to that is yes. You need to know what your future is. Do you want to be earning $100 a month, $200 a month, $1,000, $2,000, right? If you just want to make a few bucks here and there, by having just the regular basic seller account, you're going to get dinged a lot. Even at the premium, which is $60 a year, you're still getting 20% off the top, which is a lot. Okay, Etsy, I believe, is 8.5. So there are pros and cons. But if you compare it to some of the other teacher marketplaces, some of them are even higher than 20%. You got to do your research. I got my premium membership literally day one. I wasn't waiting because I kept watching these TPT seller YouTubers sharing and how they lost all this money on their first couple months because they weren't a premium member. I went, sold. So that's another tool you want to consider. A couple other quick ones. I use Tailwind for Pinterest, but I have the free account. I used to have the paid account and I couldn't justify paying the money when I was still using all the free features. So I just keep using the free features. I like the scheduling that Tailwind offers and a couple other little things that Tailwind does. I like it. So that's one, if you're onto Pinterest. If you have a website or a blog, or you're thinking about it, so this question was asked to me recently, where would you go? If you just want a little blog and you don't want to really put money in it, because honestly, websites they take money. My recommendation, okay, and this is just my recommendation, is to set up a free Blogger account. You don't own it, but it's free. And if you're just going to write little articles or blog posts about your products and then just put a link from your blog post straight to TPT, if that's all you want to do, then yes, I would go for Blogger. Yeah, blogger.com. It's nothing fancy. It really isn't, but it's free. And the one nice thing about Blogger is if you decide in the future that you want a legitimate bigger website blog, your content will transfer. You don't lose it or anything like that. I currently use WordPress. I'm going to be honest here. My website has cost me hundreds every year. And let me say it's financially put me backwards with regards to that, and it's not worth that for me. So I have been toying with the idea of switching from WordPress to something like Squarespace, where it's kind of an all-in-one hosting and whatever. And no, I don't own it then if it's Squarespace. But in my season of life, as I'm nearing retirement, I'm already sort of semi-retired, but I'm only working 3 days a week right now. I don't know exactly how many days I'm working next year. It will either be 2 or 3 next year. Either one's fine. I might work a little bit more. It really depends on things. But I'm kind of stepping out of the classroom, away from the classroom, and I don't know how much I want to blog in the near future. And I'm still kind of at that deciding. I've done a fair bit of research. I'm not fast to make decisions sometimes. I just thought that maybe I just need something a little bit easier. Okay, and so like I said, I'm looking at Squarespace. I've played with Wix when I was in university. I could also go back to WordPress.com, but I don't know. The one nice thing is for a few bucks more, I can automatically get a store put on Squarespace. So I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. With my WordPress, I use a hosting called Big Scoots. I've had absolutely no problems with them. And they are like my third company that I did one of these I don't recommend these DIY website challenges for 5 days. I spent hundreds of hours and it wasn't even close to what I wanted it to look like. I'm not graphically gifted that way. So, and if you aren't graphically gifted, I'd pay somebody, honestly. And you know what? There's some wonderful people out there. And if you want to email me or ask down below, I can provide a couple different companies or ladies that have done design for me, and I've had no complaints. Speaking of designs, you can either design your own logo, right? Create a logo for your store, create a banner for your store. You can pay people to do those kind of things, or you can do them yourself. Canva, again, is a great place to create those things. I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff because I always do. I have notes and then I just start talking. And I don't know if it's the next video or not, but one of the upcoming videos is actually on batching. I talked about batching when it came to summer strategies. So I'm actually going to, I don't think it's next week's video, to be honest. I might even be taking next week off since I'm almost finished school and I got to do some moving of stuff. And anyways, report card, I just got report cards finished today. My body's feeling a little weary, but there's a batching video coming up, and there's a couple little shorts. People asked me to film these videos, and I found they were too short to make a full video, or long form video. So I'm just going to add some shorts. So some of the videos that are coming up are batching. One's on product lines. One is on fonts, which again might be a short. Who knows? I might be taking next week off. We'll see. It just depends on how the week goes. Because I'm almost on holidays. Almost. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, being healthy, and we'll catch you in that video or the playlist. See ya.